so much hair. This past weekend, I did my first like true back-to-back long run. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm more tired from that weekend than I would like to be. So I am like halfway done with my long run. Today is 14 miles and tomorrow I think we're probably gonna end up doing somewhere between like 23 and 25. So I'm trying not to push today and I'm focusing on fueling because if you end the run not as depleted, tomorrow's run isn't gonna feel as bad. I've actually been doing really well. I'm very proud of myself. I've had all the gels at the time I'm supposed to have them. And I actually feel really good. It is a freaking beautiful day out. Like, it is so nice. I'm so inspired by Cocodona right now. And I'm just like so stoked to be out here. Like, oh my God. It's so nice. I'm so excited for summer running. I'm just so excited. The first run I did was on Saturday and it was 14 miles with a little over 2,000 feet of gain. And the second run was 25 miles and then almost 4,600 feet of gain. Is just over 39 miles with 6,630 feet of elevation gain. So it was a big weekend. It was a lot. I learned a lot from this weekend. I am implementing these more the closer we get to Silver Rush because it is a really great way to like get your legs used to running when fatigued and like also just mentally running when you're tired without having to go put in an 8-hour day or something. I think 25 miles might be like my max, honestly, for these long runs, just because I think anything beyond that is kind of hard to recover from, which I am finding now is that I'm a little slower to recover than I'd like, but it's the first back-to-back weekend. We're learning. That's really all this is we're just learning. We're learning what works for my body now. The big goal, like overarching goal for these races that I'm really focusing on is nutrition. And I've talked a lot about that and I did pretty well actually this weekend staying on top of nutrition. And I think that is why I was able to go into Sunday's run not feeling like garbage, because I was feeling pretty sufficiently, honestly, on Saturday, which I think really helps because if you're not ending a run depleted, it's a lot easier to go into your next long run and not just be starting from like negative calories. So my goal with all of my long runs and especially this weekend is to try and like emulate Leadville as much as possible. So things with technical terrain, I want to try and be as high in elevation as I can be, which is really nice because I live at like 8,300 feet. And then I'm trying to just have the vert per mile that I'd have in Leadville. So this weekend, I did pretty much like 80% of the mileage and 80% of the climbing. So I picked terrain that was runnable, had some decent climbing in it, but wasn't anything where I'm just like climbing the first half straight up a mountain and then running down the other side. That's not really going to be helpful to do before a long run. Something that I'll be implementing in other back-to-back long runs is doing like a hilly first run, longer run, and then doing my second run a little bit shorter, but cramming in the vert. That's what Leadville feels like. Honestly, like Mosquito Pass literally feels like you've been, running and it's fun, and then all of a sudden it's like, here you go, climb a 13er. So my big thing for nutrition was making sure that I was pretty much consuming 2 gels an hour, plus some scratch. So I equaled out to, I was a little bit lower on my carbs. I sat around 40 grams, which isn't terrible. It's not the best. I think that's why Sunday felt rough. And I mentioned this before, but I think one of the big reasons why my races do not go super well and why Silver Rush specifically went so poorly last year is because I like taper off my nutrition by the end of a long run or the end of a race. I haven't eaten in a few hours. And so that's something I really need to focus on this week. And then in future long runs is making sure that I'm eating consistently and I'm eating my gels consistently. But I think a huge limiter right now to my fatigue and speed over time is my intake. So after this weekend, I do feel pretty good about where I'm standing right now. I'm still not like where I want to be, but I also know that my expectations for myself are a little extreme. They're a little high. I'm trying to give myself grace because it is only, the second weekend of May, and I don't have the marathon until the end of June, and then the 50 is not until the middle of July. So I still have like a decent amount of time to be training and to really continue practicing my fueling. And I do have to give myself credit for even just getting 40 grams of carbs an hour pretty consistently, because that is a huge improvement for me. And so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take my wins where I can get them. I was able to do those 40 miles in a little over 8 hours. It was like 8.5 hours. So obviously not Silver Rush times. I'm honestly not discouraged. And I have to just keep reminding myself that. Like, I'm not discouraged. I'm not behind. My mileage is not exactly where I want it to be. And it wasn't where I wanted it to be entering this block. That's okay. Like last week I ran 68 miles, which is like the most I've run like in a week, I think, ever. And honestly, I feel okay. I feel like this is just like the grind. Like, I'm just putting in the mileage and just seeing what happens. So that was my back-to-back weekend. I'm really excited for the upcoming weeks of training because we're gonna have more like long adventure runs. That's my favorite part about doing these longer runs, is I'm actually able to like go explore really cool places because I can just be on trail for like 6 hours. Thank you for watching and for your support. I really feel it. I feel every message, every comment I get is really encouraging, and it's been really fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.